Thank you, Senator Hester. Senator King, you're recognized.
Since I'm getting the leeway, that was very unusual to give Bryan King leeway. I thought that was a pretty thing. I'm making a motion to suspend the rules to place SJR 1 on today's calendar for third reading. What's that? SR 1. Senate Resolution 1 on today's calendar for third reading. Am I recognized to present that as what we said right now?
Is that a debatable motion?
What's that?
To suspend the
Oh, yeah. Okay. I move to suspend the rules to place SJR 1 on today's calendar for third reading. SR 1, I'm sorry. And I'll explain the motion if I get allowances, as Senator Hester did. And to be clear, I fully understand the rules too. This is just to hear it. The vote to extend the session would happen if this resolution passes, just to hear to extend the session.
All right.
So I'm just asking for time, as Senator Hester said, to explain.
All right. The motion, you've heard it, is to suspend the rules. All in favor? Aye.
Well, am I going to get to explain the motion, as Senator Hester said?
Go ahead.
Okay, members. You know, our founding fathers warned us of a lot of things. One is the influence of foreign countries. And oh, okay. All right. So I don't get to explain my motion. I just get to make the motion. Okay.
But wait.
Yeah, we need to listen. I'm not a rush person, even if I'm for something. So we need to find out what's going to happen.
That was. Yeah.
Senator King, if you would like to.
I think Senator Urban has a parliamentarian question, probably.
Oh, parliamentary inquiry?
Well, I just wanted to seek clarification. I think what Senator Hester was saying was we wanted to give him leadway during this portion to also speak about his resolution, to explain why he's trying to suspend the
All right.
Yeah. So I think.
All right. Senator King, we can give you leeway to explain
the motion. Okay, fair enough.
And then we'll take a vote.
There were two things that our founding fathers warned us about. One was the influence of foreign countries, because they just beat the most powerful country to create our nation. The other part was, as James Madison said, he warned us it would be a little avail for the citizens if we continue to pass laws where we don't know what we're passing, that they're so voluminous that you can't read them or the common person can understand it. And I believe that's what happened with House Bill 1799 in our process. And if you remember, the first time I came down here was to try and make Senate rules that we slowed down the process where we knew what we were voting on. And I felt that was very important. And I will say this about this last process. We knew we had a debate about it. And I feel like that in this bill that was created in the data centers, that in regulation of trying to have crypto mining, and the language in there is about discriminating. You can't discriminate against crypto mining. We now today, there will be no business that you drive through when you go home. Individual or business will have that kind of language that crypto mining now has. Now, my intent was, as I was asked, do I want to ban crypto mining? No, I don't. I just think that we do need to repeal that. I don't think it's so unfair to citizens. And to give you a heads up and say, well, I'm just getting this popped on us, well, I said that we need to call a special session months ago. I filed an interim study bill. There's been numerous news articles about this bill, much more than we ever had before it. So there's been a lot of information, and I've done my due diligence in trying to present the information to members and the public because I believe that's important. We need to hear this bill. This caused the people of Harrison, the bill that got passed through, in the late days, the next to the last day, in a 10.5-hour session days, which rules were suspended. I have given more notice about my intentions in this because I went back months ago and said we need to call a special session over this. I filed an interim study bill about this. We've had numerous news articles about all this. So I've been more informative and directive about my intentions about what I want to do if a special session was called, and that's why I'm here today. So I think that we do need to hear this. These crypto mining facilities, as Commerce Secretary Hugh McDonald said, in the title of the bill it says data centers, and then it says crypto mining. Well, I didn't know much about it. I don't even remember the bill because the rules were suspended when it pulled out of committee instead of the two-day process. The rules were suspended. The bill was brought up here. It was amended and voted out within 30 minutes. We have the timestamps on all that stuff. That's not enough time to understand this issue and give an informed debate and make a right or wrong decision or just an informed decision. So we just did not have that in the previous session. The repercussions of that you had a situation in Boone County where a crypto mining facility came in and bought the land. It started causing problems. We don't know the legal ramifications of it. In fact, I think many of you have seen the video of Gladys Anderson up there, the noise of this thing and how it runs 24/7. The power consumption of these things, if it uses 10 megawatts, that's equal to about 6,000 to 8,000 homes. Some of these crypto mining facilities are using 250,000 to almost 750,000 of gallons of water a day. They're depleting our natural resources. We've seen news articles now that you have to do it. It's a snakebite bill. You have to find out what happened, vote for it to find out what's in it. Well, we found what's in it. In some of these places in upstate New York, which is not liberal blue New York, they didn't know what these things were coming in. Guess what? They don't want them now. And that's why you're seeing these bills to try and get out there and hide things and protect it where they get the protections, more so than any other business that you will drive home today by. They do not have the language of this crypto mining things because of everything that was snuck through and deceptive. As far as the data center part, these things are not data centers. Commerce Secretary Hugh McDonald said in a meeting in Legislative Council that Senator Rice recognized me and said, no, these are not data centers. These are computers put in containers many times. Now, sometimes they're oil immersed. I'm finding out much more later that we should have had the debate before that. But we have put cities and counties in peril. There's almost 40-something counties, almost 50 counties in Arkansas had to emergency pass resolutions on noise ordinances because of the noise level of these things. That is ramifications that we put on these people that we should have had a more informed debate about. And that's why we need a special session on this, because of what happened. Let me get into the other situations. And you hear all this crazy stuff and people trying to diminish it. The Harrison newspaper did an excellent article on a Chinese company. And I understand that we just want to ban Chinese companies, Chinese TikTok and the influence. Ban Chinese drones. Some of the people banning Chinese drones. These companies in our national security threat. These are operating near substations. There were some news articles about Chinese malware wanting to shut down substations now, especially next to military bases. It is a grave concern. Those citizens, we put them in peril in Bono, Arkansas, with this Chinese company right across the road from them. And yet we turn around here and we want to ban Chinese drones. Why are we doing this? What is the problem here? We should have had an informed debate and known more about this. And our citizens, when you don't inform us, you really don't inform the people of Arkansas about giving it. When you mislead people and call these things data centers, they are not data centers, as Hugh McDonald said. We look at the Chinese influence of every day of our country. Even Democrats and Republicans up there are warning about that. I'm not saying there's anything nefarious. When you talk about digital currency, which is this part of, you know what? The FBI security person on a news article that I will send to you said the number one method of payment is for fentanyl and drugs and ransomware and a lot of it's digital currency. They went from cash to digital currency. Carroll County had the sheriff's office, I believe, was hacked and had ransomware. Many of these times when they have ransomwares and demand payment, it's in digital currency. Now, I'm not saying every digital currency because I was on Fox Business the other day and I saw where PayPal was wanting to merge with SafeCoin and go in. And I don't understand much about this digital currency. I do know there's dangers. Republican U.S. Senator Haggerty warned on Fox Business the other day about the dangers of digital currency. We need to know both sides of this and have informed decisions, and that's why it's important today. The people in Bono, Arkansas, because of the actions of this body and passing a bill that we were not given informed decisions, that they say doesn't do much. They are now in court trying to defend their actions today. They filed it in circuit court, and this billion-dollar Chinese company got to pay the big lawyers to get it to move to federal court. Why? It's more advantageous for them. It takes many more years, much more money. Those people in Bono, Arkansas, are having fundraisers, chili fundraisers, the same ones you go for campaign events to try and pay lawyers to defend it. The good citizens in Arkansas that pay their taxes and have been there deserved better than what we gave them. Now, we should have this debate on this bill. I originally said if we didn't have the votes, when Representative Meeks filed that over there, he is more pro-crypto than me, that's fine. It's a democracy, okay? But these citizens today, and when we drive home, I do not want to drive home businesses today and discriminate more against them than arm these companies that I don't know much about. Once again, I have said on record, I am not for banning digital currency. I just don't know. We just need to have a bill and debate it because of what happened during the session. The misleading part, these things are not data centers. And to put that and compare the language would be no difference than saying a printing press that prints Bibles is the same thing as what prints money. They are not the same. We were misled. And just because lobbyists can get hired, those people in Bono are going to have their chili supper and try and defend their rights against something that we should have done a better job of having. We should have a democratic process that allows people time to know what's going on and an informed process. I went down at the start of the session and said it. I'm still saying it today, and that's what this resolution is about. Now, I know the dangers of extending 15 days and everything, but if we'd have done our due diligence and had a process that had the rights of those citizens to know what was going to happen to them, the laws we were going to put on first place, we wouldn't be here today. We shut them off once. Let's don't shut them off again. That's all I'm asking is to hear the resolution to do that. In my resolution, I am only listing that one bill and the repeal. That's it. Those people in that court case, in that federal court case, deserve better. We did not give it to them during the session. We got a chance to redo it and do it right this time. And I think that's important. If you look at the past history, and I go back several years, I think farther than anybody in this chamber, maybe me and Linda, but the little amount of special sessions we had during Democrat times compared to what has happened now, it is blown it out of the water what we used to have back here when Democrats. I'm just being fair. These are the facts. So I'm just asking you, because if we didn't do the right job for the people today, to just the opportunity to hear this bill. We saw what happened in this last session when people spoke up in here. Let's just have an informed, I'm not asking you to vote yes or no for the bill. I'm just asking you to listen to both sides. That's all I'm asking for. The citizens of Arkansas deserve better, and I think this is an opportunity to do that for them. When you mess up in life, sometimes you just got to redo it and try and fix it and have to give them a process, and that's what this resolution is, just to hear something, to hear what we're going to do. And I'm asking you to vote in support of this.
Thank you, Senator King. You've heard the motion to suspend the rules to add SR1 to the end of today's calendar. It's a non-debatable motion. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. The noes have it. Motion fails.